Good morning. Do you happen to know where any iPhone headphones might be?
Yep.
So you're not mad at them for lying to you for years, but you're mad at us for proving that they lied. We tried to speak our truth to all the deaf, dumb, and mute, but you can't save them all. No, you can't save them all.
I have to disagree with that.
It means something. It means something in a certain way. It means something.
It's weird when I made that video, it was probably, I don't know, 6 or 9 months, but now when I look at it and I see the cast of characters in there, it's like it takes on a whole different meaning. We had a little bit of tech issues, but we're back on. We're back on. We got it figured out. Let's do a little TA here before we hit the road running. This is the 4-hour chart, and look at this. We are exactly where we were 24 hours ago, essentially where we were on Monday. Here's Monday, here's Friday. So we've just been quant botting back and forth, doing nothing. But there is, if you really want to get down and dirty, there's a little bit of hidden bullish divergence on the RSI, which basically means continuation. I usually don't do hidden bullish anything because it just says, hey, smooth sailing moving forward, which is what we kind of already know. But we are experiencing a little bit of a old-fashioned pump here. We started under 64. We're now at 64, 450. And would you look at this? We have a cute little bull flag, right? And we know what we do with these bull flags. You take the pole, you slide it all to the breakout point, and then we're all at, let's say, 72.5, which would put us basically in all-time high. No, what you're hearing, Bruce Mai, you're hearing Drew's, watch this. There you go. Anymore. But now I got to remember to put him back on audio when he comes in. We're just going to do a little bit of TA, 72.5 on the ding dong, the daily chart. That's what we can look forward to if this pattern plays out, which they usually do. And obviously we'll get back to 72.5. Over on the Wookiee, let's get rid of this bold flag here. We don't need it. I like this. It's almost, you could almost consider these two candles a bullish engulfing candle from this massive, horrible week we had 2 weeks ago. We basically recovered fully, and we are respecting this descending channel's resistance, which is nice. My bullish goals for the week, what I said on Monday, was to close up or above 65.9. Misco gifts 5 pianomattyb memberships. 5 for Friday. Thank you, Misco. Much appreciated. The Oprah Winfrey of this channel, always with the 5 for Fridays. There's Randy Hipper. Randy, I almost gave you a Hail Mary this morning because we were doing some tech problems with the Druth, but we pulled it through. And now he's got us. So let's do this. Let's welcome on the one, the only Druth.
Oh my God.
There he is.
What's up, dude? Holy
How
cow.
you doing? Was our tech issues have anything to do with like the outage going on down in the States or?
No, I don't think so, man. It really, I was trying a bunch of, maybe actually it does. That global outage, I've tagged a bunch of different stories. It looks like it was affecting ATMs, airline systems, all kinds of different crazy stuff. But I'm going to stop moving here. I'm going to set this camera up for a moment, catch my breath here. Holy cow. What a morning, pianomattyb.
What a week.
What a morning. Yeah. It's been fast, okay? It's been a fast-moving morning. Where the hell's my camera? Where am I? All right, so I think that we're setting up for a big problem, okay? So I've always been warning about this polarization politically, and then the move would be to shut the grid down. So, it's an ugly thought, but right now there is hope because we see Donald Trump. There's whispers of a potential global asset backing of the US dollar with Bitcoin. But beyond that, Trump's going to find out that the federal government has already been hardening the infrastructure with blockchain. And I think that's where like massive opportunity will lie for some of my favorite alts that are literally working with the federal government, Department of Defense, and everything around that, Air Force, Navy, because I say it over and over again, data is the new gold, and they want to control that data, and they want to make sure that the adversaries that are across the pond can't hack into it. So, as scary as it may be, I still feel that it's opportunistic for me as an investor to find different things that are connected to that process of Project Iron Spider and all kinds of other different infrastructure plays that are happening in the background. And you got to dig deep to find them. And yes, they're smaller market caps. They're not $1.2 trillion market caps, but I'm in it. I'm in it to win it, man, because I think that we're in kind of that moment where it's clicking in the heads of like Bitcoin and JP Morgan and Trump. It's like this unstoppable force meets an immovable object of the United States government, and Bitcoin being that unstoppable force. And I saw Jamie Dimon's comments yesterday. I take it more as Jamie Dimon and these old school traditional finance people are finally having to surrender to the power of Bitcoin, to the immutability of it, and they're having to find a way to coexist with it basically at this point. So we're kind of set up for a perfect storm. And yeah, it's going to be turbulent on the way up, but that data breach is just more reason why we need to overhaul our infrastructure and harden that infrastructure, because things aren't even really that bad. I think they're going to get a lot worse, and they're going to need to get ready for that time frame. So.
Well, I was thinking about those real world asset tokens. I'm like, I bet you the Druth has some alpha beyond me doing my own research. I'm wondering if you have any quick tips for the audience on the real world asset tokens.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like if you want to see real world assets in the form, you can look at them in the form of treasuries, like which real world assets they're utilizing to represent US treasuries. You can go to rwa.xyz, I believe is the website. But it basically lists out like the big winners. The unspoken monsters within RWAs are Ondo. It's Maple is in the mix. There's quite a few that you can find within that realm, but real world assets, if you want to just the base play, like in my opinion, the easiest play to get access to RWA movement is Chainlink. It's the data feed that's sending the price data back and forth between whatever asset it is. It's kind of like the roadway that these assets will need to travel on in a data sense. So, if you're not looking to white knuckle smaller market cap projects and wake up and wonder, because they have big pullbacks, man. These are all in development. Ondo honestly doesn't give much of pullbacks, but I mean, I definitely have a bag of Ondo. I like Maple. I got a small bag of Maple. And really, even Centrifuge, a very unknown project, Centrifuge is involved with this in a pretty good way. But we even see things like Avalanche trying to lay out the infrastructure as well, and there's some, kind of blue chip options that are going to be shifting into this. Like, you remember last cycle, it was this whole ISO 20022 narrative. What really ended up happening is that these large financial institutions decided to move towards real world assets, not to take over the entire US banking system and become, the XRP US dollar. That's not going to happen. But what we do see happening is communication systems like RWAs finding their niche and experiencing that upside from there. A lot of people didn't think Ondo was anything good. I was talking about it at 30 cents. What up, Randy Hipper in the chat? That's cool. What up, Randy? Shout out to you. Love your content. Now,
The one, the only.
yeah, man. And something interesting within the RWAs, it's kind of impressive. Stellar has a little bit of a chunk of this RWA play. It's minimal, yes, and they still are heavily tied to the whole ISO narrative. But at large, I see a lot of these projects kind of shifting into finding their place in a more reasonable next step of crypto.
Uh-oh. Druth, you froze up. There you are. You're back.
Okay, Swift.
There you are.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, let me go outside. Let me go
Okay.
outside. I'm gonna go outside. I'm in this big studio here,
Mm,
and it's got some serious walls going on.
gotcha. Steve O
Let's
says
go.
BlackRock
I'm
to
going.
tokenize real world assets. The tokenization project will be huge.
Yeah, I mean, essentially,
Still freezing up. That darn blackout going out in the States.
comparison
There you are.
to what's coming for it. That's
I think you're worse now. You might have to go back to closer to the internet box. Rest in peace. The truth. We'll give him 1 second before he comes back on. Satellites have focused in on Drew's location. They have triangulated where Drew is. Shut him down, they say. Derek Porter, is the internet box plugged in? Maybe it just needs a restart, the old internet box. Oh, okay. So he's left. Now he's going to come back. He's going to call back in. Wick's wife says, what's up with the blackout? Let's go back to the main page here. What's up with the blackout? Well, if you want to go down a darker hole, I feel like these are almost rehearsals for what's ultimately going to come, which is, that dreaded blackout where nothing works. Because think about how married to the infrastructure we are. We went from the internet being an optional play for everything that's fun, and now it's become the most integral part of our lives. Like, we basically can't do anything without, including some of our cars won't even run without the internet. So there's that to think about too. Nobody really puts that into perspective, because any car, I think it's beyond 2012, can be shut down and started by the internet. Someone on the other side of the internet, obviously. But we got a text message here from Drew. He says, why you open up at the top there? That's so bizarre. The entire building internet is out now. Wow, wouldn't you look at that? We're having a live version of what's going on. Hey, Randy, if you still have the link, click the link. We'll get you on to do some of these segments if you have time. I know you're about to do your stream at 8:45, but we do have some dicey clips that we are going to go over with Drew. But unfortunately, his internet's out. I no longer see Randy in the chat as well. I should actually give out this link to some of these mods so they can come up. Wouldn't it be nice to have a mod on to do some of these dicey clips? Like Misco, Dave Digital, one of the Wicks, of course, Alexandra Top G. Is still up or new up? Southern California surviving the tech meltdown. Kenny Carneal, that's why he has a 98 convertible Firebird. Unbelievable. I like when those things go by. I have a small addiction to the smell of old performance vehicles. They got to mix in a little bit of that weird thing into their gas tank. That's what I like. I like to smell that when they go by. Roll down the old window and let it let it flow in. So let's take a look at this. We ran through it earlier on the Wookiee. What I'd like to see. Let's get this. Oh, we are having a little bit of a pullback. 64.1. This isn't a pullback though. This is a nothing burger, because we are here on Monday. We're here today, so it's the same thing. 5 days later, there's been basically zero volume going through the markets, even though it's been a pretty big geopolitical fundamental week. A lot of things going on. Billy Goat Tail says Dave Digital would be awesome. Anybody that's going to Bitcoin going to be at Litecoin. I think the Wicks, John Foster Crypto, I think the Wicks are going to be at Litecoin, I believe, from reading some of the Discord. If you haven't subscribed to the Discord, please do so. A lot of action in that old Discord. I'm always surprised. If Alexandra G can put that up, maybe, or Dave Digital, one of the mods there. Oh my God! Get! Whoa! How's it going? 1 second. Let's see if this works. Let's assign you. That's right. Assign to guess one. Guess one. Oh my God. It's Randy Hipper.
Am I here? Am I good?
You're here. Wow. Thanks for coming in. I thought you were out of the chat. I thought you were setting up your live. Wow.
I
what
was,
a nice
but then
surprise.
I tried to set this up. I heard your voice in the background, like, oh, I need someone. And I was like, okay, hold on. Let me fix something so I could come on here. So how are you? Sorry about your technical difficulties.
Oh, no worries. You know what? He gave me a huge heads up at about 7:30 my time. He's like, listen, things are dicey down here, and I'm not sure I'm going to make it. And I was like DMing you, hey, is there any chance? And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to make it. So I threw it off. But how hilarious is that? How is the internet down where you are?
So I had some big issues, and like when I first moved here like 2 weeks ago, and then like the internet company came out, and then like all these things happened, drama, and now I'm good. So I should like have a gig, but like my download speed isn't great, but my upload is good, and that's really all that I care about, so I can stream.
Perfect. Well, guess what? We have some dicey clips that you can now look over. Let's take a look at it.
All right, let's do it.
The only thing that matters in this election is keeping Donald Trump and Project 2025 out of power.
What is this Project 2025?
The Republican Party is gone. It has been replaced by Project 2025.
What is Project 2025? What is it, though?
What is Project 25? What is it, though, Randy Hipper? I honestly don't really know. I hadn't heard of it since last week. Do you know what it is?
Honestly, no, I don't. And like, I think it's just something like people are making up nowadays. And even like, you know, the Donnie T community has said like openly, like it's not on our website, like we don't endorse it. It's just, you know, I think that what we have right now is just a widespread attack on liberty and freedom and just anybody that has an opposing opinion to what they want.
Yeah, it's like they're grasping at straws. They're basically like almost mining some FUD from the history, bringing it back. Guess what? Project 2025. I tried to do like a quick deep dive into it, but then I hate getting on Wikipedia because I just feel like it's been controlled, and I'm just reading what they want me to know about it.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't hear about it until last week, and then all I did was hear about it. And when you see that girl Joy Reid, she starts talking about it. It's got to be bullshit.
Yeah, I just don't trust anybody, and the mainstream media is like horrible, and they don't report on anything except what they're paid to promote. So,
you're right. What is your X daily usage? Has it gone up or down in the past couple of months?
The X daily usage, I would say, has gone up significantly, but because that's where I'm finding like the real news. There is no real news besides what's on X for the most part, even though sometimes I think community notes is a little bit shaky, but and definitely people have an opinion, and I think they influence community notes a little bit, but it's not as bad, and it's a lot better than what we're used to. Yeah,
I'm having to take a deep look at my time on X, because now that it's become my news, and they have the algorithm dialed in, so when there's a little bit of news that they know I like to watch, right when I'm about to get bored of my news consumption, they'll throw in like an entertainment piece, like a bully gets knocked out with one punch or something, and then I'm like, it resets me, and then I'm back, and so I gotta take a departure from it because I am slowly getting addicted to it. Let's take a look at the second piece of dicey clips here.
Electric cars is what you are trying to persuade us all to get enthusiastic about. There's an issue, isn't there, on price? They're pretty pricey. People are worried about how far they can drive.
What I'm saying today is we need an electric car revolution. I believe that the climate transition can create a better country, but it's only going to happen with bold government action. We're not seeing it at the moment. Government needs to step up.
I presume you've got one.
I haven't yet. It's a work in progress.
That's what you preach.
No surprise there, really. One of the government puppets preaching about electric cars. You got to get one, even though you can't afford one, even though you can't really charge it that much. You got to get one. Do you have one? No.
No.
How brutal.
No. Yeah, I just like the whole thing with EVs is like, and even the cars we drive now with gas, like the new ones, they have this technology that your car is a bigger spy than your phone. And it's hard to believe, but you could read the terms of service. You could read everything that they're tracking. They want to know how fast you're going, where you're going. And then they obviously track the roads you're driving on. And you're never offline, especially with a car. Now, I do think that even if you look at China and the digital yuan, I play this video all the time of like this girl that goes to the mall and she can't buy anything. She can't even buy food because she doesn't have the right identity. She doesn't have the right social credit score. And if you don't have the right social credit score, then you can't charge your car. And so that's what I don't like with EVs is that you could go and plug this thing in and they could say, nah, too bad. We don't like you. So that's why I would at least like gas because, if you have an older car, you fill it with gas, you're going to go a very long way. Instead of the EVs where you have to plan your route according to where you can find a charging station. That to me is ridiculous. I'm sure there will be more in the future, but right now it's not worth it.
My last bullet in my apocalyptic preparation unit is a old like 1990s truck, maybe even diesel. So when the shit hits the fan, I can just load up while all these electric cars and all these modern cars won't start because they've been shut off. But here's something that might surprise you. Guess who has an electric vehicle?
You?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, see, I just lease vehicles because they're just a depreciating asset. So I have every year I just phone the guy. It's like, hey, do you want the car back? They're like, oh, perfect. Yeah, because they like that second year car off the lease. So this year I'm like, let's try one of these EVs. I'm only going to have it for a year and I'll never have an EV again after this because
You hate it?
There's a couple things I like about it, but the one thing I like about it is also what's very dangerous is they're so fast. I've never driven a faster car than this. Like I can go to 100K in about 6 seconds, which is bad because I do. If I have a street, it's open. I put the gas down. Next thing you know, I'm going 100K down like a 60, which is super dangerous. But when you have it at your foot
disposal, yeah.
I usually do it. The one thing I don't like about it is that you have a thing called range anxiety, which means you're always thinking about how much range you have. And I used to take Duke to a jiu-jitsu, which was across the city. So that was a full charge. And that's you can't live like that. I had to put a 240 in my garage, which is $1,500 to put that in just so I could actually charge it overnight. Because the thing they give you, the little drip, it'll take you like 4 days to charge it from, dead to full. So unless you have that 240,
that sucks.
Yeah, it's BS. However, I don't mind driving it. Like I call it my electric go-kart, but in a year, I can't wait for it to go back. I'll never have one again. Let's take a look at the last one here.
The media and the government want you to believe the official story that 20-year-old Thomas Crooks tried and failed to assassinate President Trump. That he was a lone gunman, right? That's the official story. There's now overwhelming evidence to overturn that official story and raise serious questions that at the very least he had help, and at the most, there were multiple shooters.
Yeah. What an interesting story, interesting world we live in. I wonder if there's people that kind of bought it. Once the Thomas Crook started coming out, they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. 20-year-old, top of the roof. Secret Service didn't see him. What? Makes sense.
That's the worst thing I ever heard in my life. Like, dude, these people watch every move you make. You're telling me that they didn't see this kid posted up and like all these other people were like, yo, like there's this guy on the roof. Like, hello. No, that shouldn't have happened. And it's honestly scary that it did. But it's not something that surprises me in any which way because the government is horrible. The people that run the world are horrible. And dude, like, you could say like maybe like they're all on the same team, right? But obviously you see a little bit of a difference here. And, like you could tinfoil hat it all you want, but you can't deny that there was something flying, that someone did die, unfortunately. And like, I think about that a lot. And no, like that was close to death. That was close to death. And I even if they were on the same side, why would, if they were, if this was like, a way to exit one guy out and bring the other guy in to save everybody, why would they, pull something like that? I don't think it would make sense.
I know it's actually changed my, I'm going to Nashville. And I was looking forward to the Trump speech. I was going to try to go there, but I think I might take a pass on it, watch it on TV, because I don't trust that he has protection the way he needs. And so I do think the psychopathic elected elites will amp it up. It's like, oh, the sniper didn't use, well, maybe we'll do one of those storage trucks with a bomb in it. Not to get too crazy, but.
Yeah, I feel like, especially in Nashville, like, I'm staying for a few days. And so I'm going to be there when this is all going down. And I was thinking about that too. I was like, is stuff going to go down? And I wouldn't be surprised if it did, unfortunately. And you just have to stay vigilant, and it can't stop you from doing things. And I think that as America, like, we need to step up and show that we're not afraid. And that if you want to fight us, we're going to like fight back, and we're not going to like just sit down and take it anymore, because I know that I'm not. And that's why I'm in this space, is because I feel like this is my way of fighting back in a peaceful way that's spreading positivity and energy that everybody can use. It's all things that everybody can have access to, not just Americans. I mean, you're Canadian, and you're like, almost fully invested in the US politics because of how much influence it has. So, yeah, it's scary. And I think that we need to just show that we're not afraid. And you even saw, like, when the attempt happened, like, no one ran. No one ran. And everyone was just looking to see if he was alive. And he was alive. And people, again, still didn't leave. So I think that, people are tired of this. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I do think the last thing that when I say they, I mean the hierarchy exploiting you, I think that they want him gone. So they're just going to amp it up. I actually saw something about... They like to give away what's going to happen before it happens, part of their like karmic resolution. We told you what's going to happen, so it's not on us, it's on you, that type of thing that the cult does. Something about like the dam may break, or there's some sort of dam may break and cause mass flooding in Nashville. So, I mean, Jesus. Imagine how crazy that would be.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've seen crazy events happen. Like, people went to Dubai a few months ago for I forgot what conference was it, and was it Token 2049? It was something. Everyone was in Dubai, and all of a sudden, like, this like massive storm, like, just came out of nowhere and almost freaking wiped out Dubai. And then like, there's just weird things that happen nowadays. You just have to live and hope you survive, and just like fight and do what you could, because there's nothing in this world that's going to protect you except for yourself. And unfortunately, that's the way it is. Even in New York, like, you would call the cops, they're not coming to save you. But, there was my family, my dad, my sister, they were in a car accident. They said the cops would not come unless the car was undrivable. Yet I was in the gym, like a few weeks before I left. And I was looking, like, my gym looked out onto a McDonald's, which is so influential, right? So I was looking out at this McDonald's, and there was this homeless guy sitting there eating a meal. The cops pull up, harass him for 20 minutes until he leaves. So the cops aren't going to show up if someone's like, ganging up on you, if you're getting physically hurt, if you're in a car accident, but they're going to go and harass some homeless dude that is on the street because of people like them, because of the fiat system, because of the way this government is run, that the homeless are on the street, but other people get to sit in, 5-star hotels. So I think it's just like, it shows how backwards it is, and it shows how corrupt the money is, that we see where it goes, and it's not to us. It's not to our veterans that are on the street and getting kicked out of their housing for somebody else.
That's right. Fix the money, fix the world. Well, Randy, I appreciate you hopping on last second, Kamikaze. I know that your stream's happening right away, 8:45. If Alexandra Top G can put Randy's link there for her stream coming up, go check it out. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Randy, for coming on. Much appreciated. Have a great weekend. I'm going to put a Bitcoin Carnivore lunchtime video, and of course, the live piano bar tonight at 9:30. Take care, everybody.
Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with someone you think might like it too.